ready.
Tell us when you're ready.
That one's already going, so go ahead.
Okay.
Ignore me.
Okay, we've concluded executive session. We're now entering back into our regular session for tonight. First item on the agenda is communications. I see we have none, so we'll skip through that. Administrative reports, Board of Control, number 1, please.
The Board of Control recommends council increase purchase order number 22161 to Walgreens, Herbert and Martin Incorporated by $10,000. Urbana City Council approved purchase order number 22161 for $15,000 on April 19, 2016 for general labor and employment law support. The additional amount will be charged to general fund, non-departmental, and is in the 2016 budget. Vote 2-0.
Speak to number 1. Do we have a motion?
Mr. President, I make a motion that we vote to
We place this on the business board.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second. Okay. That was a little rough. Okay.
Yeah, well.
Any explanation that you want to have?
Just a little bit, just as you well aware, at the beginning of the year, we always have blanket POs for specific functions for legal services, professional services. Then as we move through the year, there's typically at least 1 or 2 opportunities during the year that we need additional specific resource help, either legal or other entities. And we opened the PO in April just to continue, start dealing with an ongoing specific item. And we're at the point we're kind of wrapping things up. Most of the heavy work on that task, that case has been handled, but we have ongoing costs with the legal firm, Walgreens, Herbert and Martin. So we just need to continue to wrap things up and move forward, and we're tasked with additional funds to keep that project closing out.
Any questions? Mr. Piper? Mr. Payne?
No, thank you.
Mr. Scott?
None, thank you.
Mr. Thackeray?
We're adding 15 to the 10, right, so we're 25.
Ready, 10.
Yeah, oh, adding 10. Done, okay. Thank you.
Mr. Hoffman?
No questions.
Mr. Fields?
None.
Okay. Hearing none, we're prepared to take a vote on Board of Control item number 1. Roll. Do we do a roll or do we do a? Okay. All those in favor of Board of Control item number 1 for additional funding for purchase order number 22161 to Blaugrund, Herbert and Martin for $10,000, signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Passes unanimously. Thank you. Item number 2.
The Board of Control recommends council authorize the purchase order to Reliant Mechanical Incorporated in the amount of $22,374 for the replacement of rooftop unit 3 at the municipal building with the new Lennox HVAC unit. See attached. This expense will be charged to capital improvement administration, and it is in the 2016 budget. Vote 2-0.
Okay, council, speak to this, we need a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Thackeray. Various others as a second. Any explanation?
Yeah, just, again, this is one of those annual ongoing items that we're in the process of working through. The current unit, RTU, rooftop unit 3, which currently serves the police department and the kitchen in the fire department. It's one of the original units from 1995. It's a 17.5-ton unit. Since 2011, we've been replacing at least one. I think 1 year we replaced 2 because it's a couple smaller units. We're in the process of replacing these units because we've had reliability issues as well as the efficiency of their operation. So this year we want to replace rooftop unit number 3. And a little background on that. It's a 210,000 BTU. We get the cost here. We have a $700. We've applied for a $700 rebate through DP&L, which sounds like that won't be an issue getting it back. We looked at the next level, more high efficient units. So if you look at the payback for the extra cost of $6,000, you don't save any money by spending an extra $6,000 on your annual again, this is the other part of this, is we're transitioning away from the R-22 coolant refrigerant to the R-410A. So this will be just another step in working through that process. There's an update, we're in the process of, I think there's, after this one, there are, I think, three or four more. So this is one of the larger units that we want to replace. It's just one of those annual replacement items that we budget for and like to move forward.
Any questions, Mr. Pena?
Well, we're gonna save money in the long run with efficiency and moving to the R-410A. Of course, the other stuff is pretty much outlawed now, isn't it? And, I think we have to do it. Thank you.
Mr. Scott?
I have no questions, thank you.
Mr. Thackeray, no questions. Mr. Hoffman?
Are the recently replaced models, do they have the Huron in them too, or do they?
I'm sorry.
Do the recently replaced models or units, do they have that Huron or the new?
Yeah, I think we're putting in as a new,
Okay,
yeah.
so all the newer ones do.
Right.
I know the cost of that other refrigerant is kind of going to start to go through the roof a little bit.
Yep.
That's all I got.
Mr. Fields?
No.
Mr. Piper?
Question?
Okay, any further comments? Questions? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor of Board of Control, recommending purchase order of Reliant Mechanical for $22,374 for replacement of rooftop unit number 3, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Passes unanimously. Stay cool, okay. Number 3, please.
The Board of Control recommends council authorize a purchase order to Superior Painting in the amount of $15,000 for materials and labor required to repair and paint traffic signal poles, pedestrian crossing poles, and decorative light poles. Detailed list will be provided prior to scheduled service. The expense will be charged to the capital improvement street and is in the 2016 budget. Vote 2-0.
Okay, council will speak to this. We need a motion, please.
So moved.
Second, anyone? Mr. Thackeray?
That is, this is an item that we put last year. I think we had $15,000 budgeted, and we went out for competitive quotes to repaint a lot of the signal poles in town. You notice as you drive through, especially at the bottom, probably 4 to 8 feet, where snow piles up and gets hit with salt and that kind of thing. They're really starting to deteriorate. So last year we went out for competitive quote, and the responses we got back, Superior Paint, locally, local company, provided us a very, very competitive price, where in fact we could probably almost do it, not quite double what we anticipated doing with some of the other firms that have done some quotes for us in the past. So last year we were able to accomplish a fair amount of the signal poles, and we did a couple of the trials on the pedestrian crossing poles. That's one, the light that gives you the cross or do not cross light. So they looked at those. We also have some deterioration in the decorative light downtown, the green light, the acorn. So what we, working with Tim, we're trying to get some final pricing on the acorn lights. We can start doing a mix of some of the signal poles, some of the pedestrian poles, and some of the acorn poles, street light poles, before they become too bad. So what we are in the process, last year, Tyler and Doug and I kind of made a grid. We went through town and identified which ones were kind of the worst, which ones were okay, and which ones were not bad. So last year we took care of, I think, all but 1 or 2 of we classified as red, which need to be done right away. We got almost all those done last year. So this year we want to finish up the reds, go into some of the yellow ones that are kind of starting to show some age, and then pick up a mixture of some more pedestrian crossing and some of the acorn lights downtown. So this is a program that I think will pay dividends over time, just to keep the maintenance of them at a minimum. And probably within the next year or so, we can start phasing that back, where we get in more of just a routine maintenance, as opposed to having to do something because everything's just falling apart and rusting. So, our goal is to stay within, not to exceed $15,000. We'll put together the final mix here in the next few days and get it purchase order. We can start.
Okay, Mr. Scott, any questions?
you have an estimate on how many poles you're talking about for the 15,000?
Probably should have got that one ready, I didn't. I know last year, I'm thinking we did, I don't know, was it 8 to 10 signal poles, about 4 pedestrian crossing poles. And it was, you know, he comes in, does a high pressure power wash, scrapes off all the loose paint, gets everything back down, gets rid of all that residue. Then Sherwin-Williams has a product that we quoted, we specified when we were going out, and he come back across with that. It's a, I can't remember exactly the compound of it, but it's very durable, and it's lasted real well. So far, the ones we did last year came through the winter extremely well. There didn't seem to be any blistering or any blood bubbling from over the winter on the ones we did last year.
So you might get a dozen or so.
I'm sorry?
A dozen or so poles done.
I'm sorry.
A dozen?
A dozen?
Well, I'd say probably a combination, we'll probably do a dozen. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Thackeray?
Question, the benches are also starting to get heavy. So those are our responsibility or?
You know, I couldn't speak to that off the top of my head, I don't know.
I just didn't know if that was in the plan down the road.
I don't have it in my scope as far as this kind of a project, but it's something we can obviously look at.
But they need some attention to whoever's responsibility.
I'm kind of thinking that's Bottom Square District.
I'm thinking maybe it is too.
I don't recall ever, anything of that coming to council or, since I've been mayor. I mean, I'm just kind of thinking it's under Bottom Square District.
I think you're probably right, but I'm not sure. That's all I have.
Okay, Mr. Hoffman?
You kind of answered my question, Kerry. The poles are holding up pretty well. I watched them go through the process, and I was maybe a little concerned because of the way they took them down. It wasn't like a bare metal type deal, but it sounds like this paint that you specified is probably adequate to not take it down to bare metal.
Yeah, as we planned the scope of work last year, we brought Sherwin-Williams rep in, and, he gave us a kind of a step-by-step what needs to happen. And Tim's really gone above and beyond what they didn't ask for the high pressure power wash. They were actually calling for a wire brush and scrape. He said, you know, this isn't gonna do you well, you need to get underneath it, pop whatever is loose that may not catch on a blade. So,
I thought they did good work.
They did a good
The
job.
before and after product was nice. I mean, it looks nice.
Is that it?
Yep.
Mr. Fields?
Nothing.
Mr. Piper? Mr. Pena?
No, thank you.
Any further comments, questions, last chance? Okay. Okay, hearing none, all in favor of recommending council authorize the purchase order to Superior Painting in the amount of $15,000 for materials and labor for painting and preparing traffic signal poles, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimously. Are there any questions or comments on the footnote regarding the basketball pad?
Only quick. All we're giving them is $560.
All the money for the project was donated.
All but the 560.
All of it was donated. They had other money in there in the
Good.
fund.
Okay.
Initially, they just thought it was gonna be $2,500.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
Yeah.
Okay, that concludes the Board of Control items. Moving on to the next agenda item, citizens' comments, since we don't seem to have any citizens that decided to show up. I assume we'll skip that and move on to ordinance and resolutions. Our one and only third reading, please.
Resolution number 2485-16, a resolution supporting the creation of a county land bank in accordance with Ohio Revised Code Section 5722.02 and declaring an emergency.
Council, to speak to this, we need a motion.
I'll move the resolution number 2485-16 is put on the floor for discussion.
Any second? Okay, Mr. Scott? Any further explanation that you need from administration on this? Any further notes that you want to mention? Nothing different, nothing new? Okay, hearing none, roll call on the passage of resolution number 2485-16, please.
Mr. Thackeray?
Yes.
Mr. Piper?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Fields?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Pena?
Yes.
Okay, passes unanimously. Resolution 2485-16 is complete. Second reading, please.
Ordinance number 4429-16, ordinance adopting the tax budget of the city of Urbana, Ohio for the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2017, submitting the same to the county auditor.
We have plenty of time for meetings to get this passed, right?
Yes.
Okay. Anything that you want to add for this?
Now, this is what I discussed during the public meeting.
Right. Council, any questions on ordinance number 4429-16?
We shouldn't have Chris reread the prepared statement.
Working on the budget?
Yes, I'm okay.
Mr. Fields, any questions? Mr. Piper? Mr. Payne?
No.
Mr. Scott? Mr. Thacker? Okay. We'll declare ordinance number 4429-16 to have had second reading. First reading.
Resolution number 2487-15, a resolution to establish a stormwater advisory committee to assist city staff and make recommendations to council.
Okay.
I'll do an opening, and then Tyler will be available to answer more specific questions. Some of you will remember, probably goes back to the late 2000s, maybe 2008, 2009 area. There was an attempt to look at initiating a stormwater utility fee, and a lot of discussion ensued, and eventually, I think the topic kind of died off. It's been brought back and forth for discussion several times over the last few years. Most recently, I think we talked in work session a couple times recently about the opportunity out there that are ongoing projects that we funded out of our general fund for stormwater projects that, while they're good capital projects, they kind of taking money out of the general fund that we could have used for other infrastructure items such as street maintenance and, you name it, other capital projects that are critical as well. So one of the things that we've talked about is a lot of the communities we've discussed this with have implemented or brought together a community team or committee that would kind of review this and understand more details of what's going on and why this is important, as not only our requirements to keep our infrastructure in good condition, but also with shrinking budgets and that type of thing. It's just that everybody, all departments, all assets, whether it's operations, capital, or whatever, are always competing for dollars. So as we get into more and more regulations, more and more requirements around water, clean water going to the Mad River, it requires a lot more support, either through operational support or capital improvement support. So one of the things that we've probably seen recently, everybody got their utility bill recently, there's an item in here about illegal pay for littering or illegal dumping. And some of that, as you read through that, was aimed at a lot of these cigarette butts, candy wrappers, bottle caps, things that people just toss out the window, eventually they go in the street, go in the gutter, curb, end up down the gas station. Eventually they work their way, somebody's got to deal with that product, that material before it's discharged. So again, this is just one of those subtle things that not everybody pays attention to when they look the cigarette out the window or they throw their Wendy's bag out the window. And somebody's got to deal with that. So this is just an opportunity to form a water advisory committee to help us understand questions, concerns, comments from the community as we get in, reevaluate our position on this opportunity here. So Tyler, would you like to add to that or answer any questions or any specifics? Tyler can give you a lot of the technical background in terms of the reporting and any changes coming at us in regulations from the Ohio EPA or any other entity.
Is there anything you want to add?
I guess I would add that, like Kerry first brought up, one of the first things he brought up was that our infrastructure projects in the past, over the past 10 years, we've probably done, 8 stormwater projects, and they're large scale. They take grant money that we could have used elsewhere. They take match money that we could have used elsewhere. So just like just like water and sewer have their designated funding sources to fix pipes, well, stormwater doesn't right now. And I think it's a good idea that we start looking at a utility that would give us revenue to fix those pipes on a day-to-day basis. On our phase one water project on Wooddale and Amherst, we weren't planning on doing any stormwater project or stormwater portion with it, but one of the pipes blew out and we explored the rest of it, and they had about 80 feet of bad section in it, and we had to replace it. So there's deteriorating pipe that'll show itself eventually.
Who did I stop with? Was it, are you first?
You can
Mrs.
start
Lynn?
with me.
All right, I'll start with Mr. Scott.
So the Stormwater Advisory Committee is the idea behind it to end up with the utility?
The idea
Or
behind
that's where you hope it would go?
that's what we're aiming for. Yeah, the advisory committee is supposed to tell us whether they think this is the best route to try to increase revenue for that type of stormwater projects and that type of thing.
And it's just too much to kind of compress it in with the water department?
Or with the sewer department. Yeah, I think it's too much.
Okay.
Is that it?
That's all I have.
Okay.
Thank you.
Becker. I have no questions, John.
Just a comment, so there's a whole lot more emphasis on stormwater. We had, I don't remember the lady's name that came in and gave us the presentation.
Yeah, Leanne.
It's probably one, you know, when we talk about pollution in general, it's probably one of the single biggest pollution points that we never really think about, right?
Yeah.
People dump stuff down the storm sewer and you think, you know, so we got this crossover between sewer and storm sewer, and there's just all these issues and things that need to be explored. And I think having an advisory committee makes sense. It's not a committee that's gonna act, you know, potentially, but we still have to have, a blessing, so to speak, of council. But I think it's a good idea to look into, and a lot of communities have gone that way. And, you know, as a city, it's our responsibility to take care of our infrastructure. So if someone wants to come back and say, well, we don't want to spend money on it, it's kind of like if your car breaks down, you really don't have a choice. So, you know, we can either do this, which is what most communities are looking at, or we can go back and look at, you know, raising taxes somewhere along the way and then taking it from the general fund. But I don't like that idea as much as I do having a stormwater system set up.
Yeah, we probably have 40 or 50 miles of storm lines in the city limits with no designated funding source.
Right. So we do need to look at it. We do need to explore it. We need an advisory committee to make recommendations based on facts. So yeah, I think it's a good idea.
So the idea is for Chad and I to head that committee or direct that committee with taking direction also from the law department and the finance department for budgeting and for procedure.
Anything else? Fields.
Are you gonna have just individuals from the community on this committee? And how will they be chosen?
I think Brianne might be able to speak to her idea for that.
Because it's an ad hoc committee, it's basically a public invitation. We want input from the public. There was, where the idea of utility was first floated, there was some guidance and push from the EPA that now we're seeing a lot more in terms of the pollution regulations that we have to comply with one way or another. But in terms of what the utility is going to be, what the structure is going to look like, the impact on businesses, we want all of those players to be able to come to the table and give their input, which is why we're not saying it's going to be a set membership. We're going to pick and choose who we want on the committee. It is open to the public that will be affected to come and give us their input so that when it comes to council, they will have a chance to give council guidance in terms of residential, people that have, just lawns and houses and driveways, all the way up to those who have, huge impervious surface areas, such as your factories and the ones that have, large commercial parking lots.
Anything else?
Well, I know riding around the city, I see a lot of people that have their downspouts
Still tied into the ground.
tied in, out to the street. And that is not helping the problem.
Well,
everything ultimately goes through the wastewater treatment, correct? All the, does all the storm?
None of the stormwater goes.
No,
Stormwater is not-
okay, the 80 miles of reconstruction, is that all contracted out? Or do our city guys, do they have any part to rebuilding any of that 80 miles or rebuilding pipes there that were damaged? Is that what you said they were? 80
Oh, that was
miles?
80 feet.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
80 feet.
80 feet, I think so. I was like, man, that's a lot of pipe. It's like, where are we going with this thing, man?
Yeah.
80
We
feet.
already replaced 80 miles.
Yeah, who did that? I mean, was it the city workers or was that subcontracted out or?
The city workers ended up doing the pipe, and the repair work on the surface was done by the contractor that did the water project, so.
Okay. All right.
Anything else?
No, what's,
The storm sewer and the regular sewer, they don't run together.
No, they don't.
They're not supposed to.
We're not combining.
We don't have the combined sewer.
I mean, Columbus
The way
had that
Columbus and Springfield and some of the
Right.
larger cities do, but.
and as the lady that was here doing a presentation a few weeks back saying this is running out into Mad River, correct?
Yeah.
What's that?
So your stormwater will flow to the catch basins, they'll flow to the storm line in the ground, and then they'll eventually make their way to Digging Ditch, and then Digging Ditch flows to Mad River. So that's how your stormwater gets out of city streets.
But to clarify, when it rains, people don't flush their toilets more. And Chad sees
Right.
an increase in volume treatment. And there's a cost per 1,000 gallons that the city pays to treat that water. So there's savings in the long run to make sure that the two systems are completely separate. Anything else?
Good, thank you.
Any further comments? Okay. We'll declare resolution number 2487-15 to about a first reading. On to miscellaneous business. Mr. Piper, would you like to go first?
Down on Fender Street, the underpass. It's down there, done some work, there's a big hole, must have been a water line or something in that area. But just under the bridge was a blacktop. The gravel must be given away, and the blacktop sticking in like a sinkhole.
Fender Street, there's viaduct on Fender Street.
Yeah. Yeah. I've had people come tell me that they didn't see it, but they just hit it like shook their car to death, and it was probably about that deep. That's the only thing I have.
Okay, Mr. Pena?
I have nothing this week, thank you.
Wow, okay, Mr. Scott?
No, I think I'm good, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Thackeray?
I've got a couple of things. Yes, the cemetery board did meet.
Whoa.
Yeah, we want to repeat.
Great. Yeah, that's
Did meet.
fantastic.
We've got a good group. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for putting a good group together. Everybody was very constructive. Everybody there understands what the purpose of the board is. We elected Lynn Rich to be the chair, and then Gloria Malone is the secretary. So we'll be communicating with you, as we get further down the road. Right now, we're working on bylaws. We're going to meet monthly. Next monthly meeting, we're going to talk bylaws and see if we get that in place. Then we'll actually tackle some projects and so forth once that gets set up. So I just want to thank you for getting started, Carrie. I appreciate it. The other thing, I attended a public meeting yesterday for Columbia Gas that's doing the gas lines downtown. I know they've worked with the city a little bit on probably a lot. But it looks as though they're going to be very cooperative with scheduling for events and activities downtown. They want to know what dates the art fair was and when the chili cook-off was, and they're going to try to work around as much as they possibly can not to disrupt downtown during those festivals. They seem to be very receptive to work with individual homeowners and business owners for scheduling and trying to keep their gas service up and going. So I was very impressed with the public meeting. It wasn't well attended. There was like 5 or 6 of us there. They had a panel of people there that had answers to the questions we had. So that went very, very well. And one other thing, I went to the water reclamation open house that they had at the wastewater plant. That was very nice, very good information. It's the first time I got through a tour. I've been down to visit, but I haven't got through a complete tour. And that was very valuable.
pretty quickly on some pretty serious vandalism, and when you see it, and I think that hopefully it sends a message to these younger kids, that the stuff they see on the internet might be funny on the internet, but in real life, there's consequences, so I'm glad they caught up with those folks quick, and I guess a shout out then to the fire department today. I stopped at Walmart here as I come home from work, and there was a roll-off dumpster there on fire, and they got there kind of quick and got it put out, but, just thanking our public servants, police and fire for what they do. That's all.
Mr. Fields?
Nothing.
Okay, we'll switch sides. Chief? Nothing. You don't want to expand on that? Kind words?
Under investigation.
I appreciate the kind words.
Okay, there we go. Okay.
Yeah, many words.
Engineering?
Paving project's all complete. That ends our paving for the year.
Seems like we should just be gearing up.
Proud money, boy.
You geared up, you said, yeah. So it's gonna be my next comment. Anything else? Okay, law.
So time to sign up for the public records training that's on July 8th at the county building. Go to the Ohio Auditor's site, click on Open Government Training. Sign up.
Good morning. Finance? Administration?
Couple items quickly. One, a while back, we reported out on the community cleanup that we had back in April. I think we ended up somewhere around 80 tons of solid waste we picked up around the community. Just wanted to share the financial side of that. I know we had a little angst about whether or not we were going to have enough money to pay that bill. You know, I think we were thinking around 15,000. We hedged it, said, well, let's make it 20, and I think the council went, well, let's make it 25. So we have a number. So the number came in at $9,787.75.
Wow.
So for 4 days of hauling, I think it's a pretty effective way of getting rid of a lot of solid waste. I don't know, we probably would have spent more than that, getting a bunch of roll-offs, and trying to find volunteers, and haul a bunch of air back and forth to landfill. So I think all things considered for first time out, we came in very well as far as where we anticipated. So 80 tons solid waste gone, came in well under the purchase order. So wanted to share that update with you so we had the number.
Plan on doing it next year? We plan on doing it next year,
We haven't really got that far, probably about every 2 or 3 years. We'd like to have some inquiries about, always have hazardous waste. I don't think we're in a position to do that, but one would be electronics, others, maybe some other events we could work on, but probably won't do this one again every year, if something happens periodically.
Kind of hitting on what you were saying, I got really good feedback from people on it, they thought it was a fantastic thing to do. I'm wondering if, we could expand it, maybe not all the time, but maybe, because a lot of people, their negative feedback was, man, I couldn't sit this out, or I couldn't sit that out. And I know we can say, well, there's places you can take it, but by the same token we did this, might be nice to do, like you said, maybe do electronics one time, maybe do tires, maybe look at hazardous waste and what that actually means. Right? I don't know what hazardous waste would entail. Well, you can do paint now. Yes. Put the chemicals that are in it, dry it up, let it dry out, throw it away. But, so that would be my only thing, because there's still a lot of people out there holding tires and things like that. I don't know what it costs to get rid of that kind of stuff.
Maybe $5 a car.
$5 a tire.
Said 3.
Anything else from administration?
Last time, we are putting together the agenda for next Tuesday. Obviously, we'll talk about the tax budget in a little more detail, or be ready to answer any questions you might have. There'll be a couple other items that we're starting to putting together. One would be the stormwater utility, just kind of refreshing any discussion items on that, and catch up some of the loose ends on any current projects that are moving, just to keep you up to date on. I know Doug is going to the school board meeting tonight, so he may have more information, next week sometime. I think Monday, school district, project team is going to meet. I think we're meeting here with our internal crew, start discussions on the pre-K through 8 down on South 68, moving that, how that's going to move forward. So my understanding, as far as I know, the school is still working through the due diligence process to determine, finalize whether that's going to be their movement. So that'll be determined near very near future. So, their 90-day window started early May, so I think they're basically kind of coming into early August, they're going to have a decision made unless they, work out something different. So, anyway, that's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor?
Just to piggyback off the resolution you just passed, I think it would be nice for council to send a letter to the county commissioners stating basically that you have passed this resolution and you think it is a very good idea for the county and the city to have this land bank. The administration and coming from the mayor's office is going to do the same thing. We're going to send a letter out to the county commissioners, but I know we have an elected official out there that is basically on the fence on wanting to do it or not. But it would be good for us. You look at Q3, that would have been a possibility to put it in a land bank. There's a lot of things that could be done if we had a land bank. So I just think it would be nice if council could send a letter to the county commissioners stating that you have passed this and why you think it is good for the city.
Do we need to make a resolution or a motion to?
You can do that if you'd like.
Why don't we make a motion to draft such letter and have it signed? That's that thing.
We can assign it to Amy to draft.
What's that?
We can assign it to Amy to draft, and we all sign it. Okay, motion's been made, we have a second.
Second.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Okay, motion passes unanimously.
I had talked to two of the commissioners, they're in favor.
Okay, so I think we know two are for sure,
Yeah, I know two of them.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, most importantly, Clerk, anything you need to add? Anything you need clarification on?
Yes, sir. We're
Okay.
clear.
Okay, Mr. Fields, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Do you have anything